Morning, everybody. This is another candle. I want to say, for one, I appreciate everyone who may have prayed for me while I was going through depression for seemingly like no reason. Well, I just want to let you guys know that, yesterday, I don't know when, I don't know how, but it just kind of switched off, and I don't feel like that anymore. I woke up today, I'm happy today. Back to the same old me, I guess we'll say. That's great, honestly. Like I said, I appreciate everyone who prayed. A lot of my family was. And it's honestly just great having a support system of prayer to help you through your hard times, because every single one of us, we all go through tough times and we all need prayer. Don't ever be afraid to ask somebody to pray for you, because prayer is a powerful thing. Well, on to the real message of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. For one, I wanted to ask you guys, do you see the signs going on around us? If you have a, how should I put it? If your eyes are based in a more spiritual nature as opposed to a fleshly nature, in other words, you're training yourself to see God when He's working, then you'll start to see these signs. For one, we have literal prophetic signs happening almost every week. There's something different happening. About a month ago, it was Russia, attacking Ukraine, which is essentially kind of like what's happening with in the book of Ezekiel about Gog and Magog. If you look at that, it seems like they're trying to get their lands together. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. And then you have the waters under the Knesset, pretty much the Israeli parliament building that just burst forth underneath the basement. Seems prophetic if you ask me. They're pretty sure there's only one spring that's been known about for a long time in those lands. And then what's happening this week? Well, this week people have been starting to see strange things in the skies. People have seen lights appearing in the skies. I'm pretty sure there was one above Egypt, and then not too long later, one above Texas. I don't remember what town, but I've seen the videos talking about it, showing it, and it is wild. It really does look kind of crazy when you think about it. Looks like the Eye of Sauron's about to open up. If you've seen the Lord of the Rings, you might know what I'm talking about. But let me over. Thank you. But when I think about it, I think about the fact that God led His people out of Egypt and through the desert into the Promised Land. And what did He lead them by? He led them by a pillar of fire. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly what this is, but let's ask ourselves a question. What if it is? What if God is specifically putting fire over places that He's saying, look, I see what's going on here, and, I'm protecting you, I am with you. I'm sure Satanists could look up into the sky and see that and be like, oh man, that's a sign for us, look at that. That's wild looking. There's a lot of religions that could probably look to that and think that that's a sign for them. But we as believers, we know that all the signs and wonders that come into the heavens, they're manifestations of God and God's power. And they are signs and messages for us to see what He is about to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I've also heard that it's very possible that these are being caused by the government experiments that they're doing, atmospheric experiments using the blue beam technology, using electrons to excite particles in the atmosphere. That's very much possible. I'm not saying that either one is the case just because I don't personally know. I only know a little bit about it. But I could just say, I could reference you a couple of videos you guys could check out. Both are talking about either side and suggesting what they could be. Signs of the Last Days Ministries. I really like that channel. They're very heavy on prophecies and prophecies they see coming true. And then JWTV, and I really like that guy too because he's very, very open about what the governments are doing in their secret projects, what they've been trying to accomplish. He talks about the Project Blue Beam and a couple of the other projects that they're trying to do that involve using nanotechnology and getting it into our bloodstream. That way they can try to control us using lasers. Now, I know that sounds super sci-fi, but the thing is, you got to realize our government does have this technology. They've been using lasers to try to simulate asteroid impacts and see, basically research to see if the lasers would be strong enough, instead of using ballistic missiles to try to take out an asteroid, see if they can use lasers instead to essentially partially disintegrate the asteroid enough that way it's not a threat to our planet. It's really wild, the things that are coming true in our Earth today. We can tell, like I said, if you have that spiritual eye to see, you can tell that Satan is working hard right now. Like he's clocking in overtime, guys. He's trying to make sure that one way or another, people that aren't saved, he wants to make sure that they're not going to get there, that they're never going to get there, just because of the fact that they're going to have so many questions about all the things going on. They're going to be like, man, I don't know about this. I doubt it. I don't think it's true. I've heard a couple of people saying things like, well, who's to say Jesus is the Messiah? And then going on to even say, I think Jesus might have been the Antichrist. And you're like, what? What? That is wild. Guys, I can say with certainty that no, Jesus is not the Antichrist. He's the one who spoke of the Antichrist to come in the latter days. And whenever he was asked by his disciples, he said, nay, it is not the time. And that's because he's saying, like, no, guys, this is later on. This is in the future. God has this whole thing planned out. And underneath all those plans, there's Satan trying to undermine it, trying to make sure that none of us have the opportunity to be able to get to heaven with God, because the thing is, he's jealous of it. He is angry about the fact that we were given that opportunity. It really messed up all his plans whenever Jesus came to earth and sacrificed himself for our sins, took the burden of our sins onto the cross with him. I think that threw him for a loop. And he's been trying to get the pieces back together for a good while. Well, guess what? He's got the pieces. A lot of them are falling into place. Guys, just watch what the governments are doing around the world. I think it's important, whenever it says in the Bible, to be sober-minded and to watch the things that are going on. I'm not quoting that perfectly, but you know what I'm saying. It's always good to keep an eye on what the powers that are over our lives on this planet Earth, what they are doing. You look at our government in the smaller levels. They're trying to make LGBT just the crowning achievement of our country. They want it to be, the big piece that that we can hold on to and say to other countries, well, look what we did. They want to make it okay to teach your kids in kindergarten the difference of sexual identity. They want to confuse these kids. Yeah, you guys, we can't let this happen. I'm sorry, if you ask me, if you're a Christian, if you're a believer, I would say your prerogative right now is to make sure that your kids don't go to school. I remember when I was in high school, I was homeschooled all the way from like a part of first grade. I went to school there, but I got pulled out. And from then up till high school, we were homeschooled. And I thank God for that. I can't be thankful enough that I was homeschooled, because the crap that I heard and that I saw whenever I was in high school, not just stuff that kids in high school were doing, but things that kids in grade school were doing. I remember hearing, third graders and fourth graders talking about sex, cussing up a storm, talking about trying drugs and stuff like that. Man, do you guys want your kids to be exposed to those things? Because I promise, they don't tell you every single thing that they hear in that school. They don't come home and let you know, hey, man, I heard this today and I heard this. No, they want to keep it a secret just because they don't understand whether or not they're going to get in trouble for even hearing those things. They don't know. Half the time they might not even know exactly what they're hearing. But I can promise you this, kids don't need to be learning about stuff like, transvestites, gay marriage, stuff like that. They don't need to know about that stuff, at a kindergarten up to third grade, whatever grade you want to say. I don't care. They don't need to know that stuff. And if we don't actively take part in our communities to communicate with our governmental leaders in each and every state, in every county, then we're going to see these things happen, and they're going to keep happening. Do I think we can fight against it? Yeah, I think we can. Do I think we can stop it? No, I don't exactly think we can stop it. And I'll just say, I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, if we just pray hard enough, we can get this world back to where it should be. Guys, don't you realize that where this world is supposed to be as it goes down the line is it's supposed to be in damnation, essentially. Satan is the prince of the air. And there's a reason why in the Bible they'll say with a little g that he is the God of this earth. It's because of the fact that he was given dominion over this earth. So if we can't recognize that, then we're probably not going to recognize a lot of the things that he's trying to do in our government. I know this has been a bit of a longer video, not as long as some of the other ones, but I've been trying to keep them shorter, that way they're easier to digest. And I just want to say that if there's anybody here that, maybe you got a lot of questions that you're asking, maybe you don't exactly know whether or not you're saved, I ask you that if that's the case, that you'll put it down there in the comments. And even if you don't want to put it in the comments, that's fine, I understand. But go get you a Bible. Read the New Testament. The Old Testament's important too, but it's more or less just the testimony of what God brought the Jewish people through as his nation. But what's really important is the Gospels in the New Testament that teach you about Jesus. Because the thing is it's only through Jesus that we're going to be able to escape all of this that's going on in the world today. So like I was saying, if anybody's not saved, if you don't believe in Jesus, maybe you don't know if you're saved or not, just send me a comment down there. I will pray for you. If you got any prayer requests you need to be prayed for, put them down in the comments. I know people that watch these videos will be praying for you. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see other videos like this one. And I hope y'all have a blessed day.